Hello, welcome to East Asia Monitor. I am Daniel Rowe, who makes this the 9 report. Today we will talk about the new developments in North Korea-Russia relations. 9 report is named because it is produced on 9th and 19th and 29th of the month. I'm Daniel Rowe. I'm Korean and I went to schools in the US, grad school, and had worked in Japan for many years. Now back in my hometown in Seoul. Your subscription will be very much appreciated. Okay. Let's take a look at this map. You will be amazed again to know how large the Russia is and how small that Korean Peninsula is. You know, Korean Peninsula is actually circled. It's a really one tip of the really East Asian continent. The size of Korean Peninsula, including both North and South Korea, is somewhere between the size of a state of Kentucky and Indiana. So the Americans will know how small the Korean Peninsula is. And today we'll talk about this relation between this tiny peninsula, which houses North and South Korea and Russia and continent. Basic theme of today's talk is relation between North Korea and Russia. And evolution, I think we can think of in 3 stages. First stage is a new period of ideological alliance after the World War II. Both USSR, now Russia, and North Korea have been really staunch, socialist / communist countries. And then we had the era where Korean government approach, try to develop relation with North Korea and also the Russia, USSR. And then lately, we have a new, actually different stage where Russia and North Korea are really, approaching fast. And in a sense, they form a political economic alliance in the global politics. The first stage, Russia, North Korea, a new period of ideological alliance was formed, but with some reservations. In August 1945, Soviet troops are stationed in North Korea, but war was over in that month. The records show that the Soviet troops stayed in North Korea very short time, I think less than a year, several months. For that, they actually garner lots of benefits in that the ending of World War II. Then, only 5 years after the ending of World War II, we have a new war, Korean War in the Korean Peninsula from 1950 to 53. Soviet military supported North Korea and also the America supported South Korea. So, the war in that tiny peninsula was, in a sense, the proxy war between the liberal and the totalitarian regimes of the US and the USSR at that time. And after that war, in North Korea, actually Kim Il-sung became the leader of North Korea. And Kim Il-sung tried to downgrade actually the Stalin at the time, who had a huge influence. And so that led to political faction politics in North Korea between pro-Russian and anti-Russian factions. But in 1961, Soviet Union and North Korea signed the alliance treaty. And at that time, as you know, South Korea, a liberal capitalistic state, had been developing with relation with the USA and also Japan at the time, which led to the normalization of relation between Japan and South Korea in 1965, actually under the leadership of the USA at that time. Then North Korea stayed as a pro-Russian country for about 2 decades. In 1984, military, economic, and technical cooperation continued between until Kim Il-sung was in power and he visited the Soviet Union. This could be, in a sense, part 1 of 3 of North Korea, Russia/Soviet Union relations. Then North Korea's rise as a communist, socialist country and rapprochement with the Russia at the time. In 1988, now the world, quite in the developing capitalistic country, South Korea held the Seoul Olympic Games, and Soviet Union was invited and participate in Olympic Games. So that was a really good sign for South Korea, but it was a really bad sign, really sad story for North Korea, because North Korea was exempted. So North Korea-Russian relations, got worsened at that time because of this incident. But again, also in that stream, Soviet Union approved Republic of Korea formally in 1990. So it was a formal diplomatic relations, exchanging embassies between Seoul and Moscow. But 91, the next year, the Soviet Union collapsed. So it was replaced by the Russia again now. In 1996, Boris Yeltsin, the president of Russia, and then Korean President Kim Il-sung had a summit meeting. So the relation between Russia and Korea got really improved. That led to almost practical pseudo-alliance relationship between the two countries. So from that time, I remember my friends went to Moscow, Russia, for in graduate studies, and many cultural exchanges were held between Russia and Korea. But the situation got changed. In 2016, North Korea and Pyongyang and Moscow tried to improve their relations. It was one incident that signaled the improvement of relationship was the actual repatriation of North Korean illegally staying people back to Russia, North Korea. So one sticky issue was cleared in that agreement. Then next year in 1917, Najin, the port city in the northeast of North Korea, and Hasan is another city, actually just north of Najin, in the eastward area of Hasan. Railway infrastructure discussed for expansion. So we are talking a really railroad, system between those, two regions of North Korea and Russia, where actually, many natural resources are found, and there are big ports there. And June 1917, Putin advocated North Korean nuclear weapons development. And this is really, really major, sad story for South Korea, because Putin, the president of Russia, pushed North Korean nuclear weapons development in that year. And next year, the Russia and North Korea now, in quite good terms, had a 70th anniversary of their diplomatic relations. And the talks were, held for, two countries, tourist transportation and tourism system, etc. So these are really, good times for North Korea and Russia. And in that stream, in April 24, 2019, the young leader, current, top guy, Kim Jong-un, visited Russia for the first time. That it led to, in a sense, alliance now, which is going on now. And then this Russian invasion into Ukraine actually pushed this Russia-North Korea alliance further, because there is a war, and war requires materials. In February 22, Russia invaded Ukraine, and then just half a year later, September, Russia bought shells and rockets from North Korea, which was actually detected by U.S. intelligence. And entering year 2023, Putin Kim held a summit in Vostochny space station in northeast of Russia in September. And then following that event, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov visited Pyongyang. So we are talking a really fast development of relation between Russia and North Korea. And then November 23, there was an intergovernmental committee on trade, economy, science, and technology cooperation between the two countries. So now, if we call this affinity a good relationship, what are the backgrounds? What are the factors? One is weapon supply by North Korea to the Ukraine war, which was a really critical development for Russia, which is, still waging war in Ukraine. Also, it meant Russia's expanded influence on North Korea. So now, many big projects such as railway development, right to use the rising port of North K for, the Russian, purposes, such as, shipping, many strategic or even arms, products from the eastern part of Russian continent. And these developments will mean in a sense, challenge to the UN's influence in Northeast Asia, and indirectly also Chinese influence in Northeast Asia. So Russia under Putin is, getting, tougher and tougher, and with the help of North Korea these days. So, in a sense, this is a really restoring of influence of Russia in not only in North Korea but international diplomacy, because Russia's position got strong against U.S. and China in this really critical time of Ukraine war, where Russia enjoyed the support from North Korea. Now, so what are the key points we should watch on this, new North Korea, approach or affinity? One is the possibility of room for cooperation in the defense industry between North Korea and Russia is looming, getting larger, and Russia is getting more and more dominant over the North Korean control and dominance over North Korean economy. So, in a sense, in that stream, in that vein, Russia does not recognize any international sanctions, just except for UN sanctions, because they are a member of the UN, so they can say no to UN sanctions. But other than that, Russia, Putin will not permit any sanctions against North Korea. And also free exchange with North Korea. many infrastructure development, so through railways and ports, etc. So if you imagine that Russians can use North Korean ports and railway systems freely, it is a new level of actual logistics, military logistics for Russia. So this all can point to, in a sense, a check or a challenge to U.S. hegemony in East Asia. Well, this is it for today. If you have any point for me to discuss, please let me know to this email address. Thank you very much.